Multiple women have reported being punched in the face in New York City, and their stories are all over TikTok. Here's what we know. A series of women have been posting alarming TikTok reports about being randomly punched by a stranger while walking in New York, including at least 2 daylight attacks reported to cops this week. Social media influencer Hallie Kate posted a clip after she was struck in broad daylight.
You guys, I was literally just walking, and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. I can't even talk. Literally, I fell to the ground, and now this giant goose egg is forming, and I'm like, oh my god, it looks so crazy.
Since Kate's viral video was uploaded online on Monday morning, multiple other women have now echoed her claims to say they have been victims as well.
So I have fallen victim to the men in New York City.
He goes, sorry, and then punches me in the head.
Out of nowhere, this man just came up and hit me in the face. I'm like actually in shock right now. I'm just like walking home. Literally just got punched in the face by a homeless man. Like literally walking to the gym.
Attacks appear similar to something called, quote, the knockout game, where young people encourage each other to randomly sucker punch strangers. This was popular in New York City in 2013, and now police worry it may be resurfacing. However, it is still unclear if all the recent punching incidents were connected, police said. The revelation that unassuming women are being attacked in New York City has sparked a conversation online as fellow women and TikTokers are now urging each other to be aware of their surroundings.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Nava. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new here or haven't hit it yet on your way in. Today, I'm going to talk about what is going on in New York with these men punching women in the face. Right now, it appears that it's different black men, and a lot of women are saying that it is a lot of black men punching a lot of white women. But I just want to remind you, ladies.
Terrifying moments, all captured on camera. Watch again. A man dressed in camo, jumping her from behind, forcefully grabbing the teen and dragging her away. The woman chasing after her is her mother, Adriana Alvarez.
I never heard her scream like that.
You weren't thinking about your safety at that point.
No, absolutely not. No, it's my baby. Can't take her.
Adriana followed as the man continued to drag her daughter away, the three kicking and fighting all the way down 4 flights of stairs. The harrowing ordeal unfolding this past January as her 18-year-old daughter Lex was coming back home after finishing a morning dog walk.
He managed to grab my hair through the door. I remember being thrown onto the heater.
The NYPD identified the suspect as 25-year-old George Vasilou, her daughter's former co-worker.
I just want to say hi. How are you? Oh, you misunderstand me? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm misunderstanding. Sorry.
Infamous killer Jaime Osuna appeared in court, charged with his second murder after killing his cellmate in a gruesome attack. Sometime in the early hours of March 9th, Jaime Osuna methodically tortured and killed Luis Romero at Corcoran State Prison.
Disturbing things you didn't know about Richard Ramirez. He gouged out Maxine Cesara's eyes after brutally murdering her and her husband. Her eyes were never located, and in court he actually laughed as they were describing the crime scene.
So a man in Egypt kills his wife after 3 days because she refused sexual relations.
Over heavily by a man that stabbed their daughter 190 times. And how do you rule that accidental? Do you know how long it would take to stab somebody nearly 200 times? That's gonna get tiring. This is not a mentally sane person. This is a psychopath.
Because she refused to appear on the reality show Zombie House Flipping.
This is Zombie House Flipping.
David Tronis met his wife of just 1 year, Shanti, online. They moved into this historic fixer-upper in Orlando, but it turned into a money pit, with the couple sinking hundreds of thousands of dollars into renovations.
They were once beautiful homes. Now they're abandoned and rotting.
So Tronis had the idea of going on the A&E home renovation show, Zombie House Flipping, where crews renovate homes in dire condition.
This zombie house flipping was the lifeline out of this mess with this house that they've dug themselves into. And she, at that point, a week before her murder, was not into it.
Prosecutors say Tronis snapped when Shanti tried to cancel a meeting with the show's producers. A week later, Tronis called 911.
Hello?
Why is she not breathing? I'm trying to do CPR.
Tell me exactly what happened.
I found her in the shower.
Is she breathing?
No, I tried to do CPR. I can't get her to breathe.
Cops didn't buy his story that she fell.
David, you killed this woman.
They even brought up zombie house flipping.
I know that the show that's going to happen is now yours. You have complete creative control. You get the TV show.
Tronis was charged with fatally beating and strangling.
The 17-year-old Iranian teen was beheaded by her husband, and people want justice. Mona Hidari was reportedly 12 years old when she was married off to her cousin, with whom she has a 3-year-old son. She had fled to Turkey 4 months earlier to escape domestic violence, but was brought back home by her father and murdered in a so-called honor killing on February 5th. An honor killing is the murder of a person, usually a woman, who is seen to have violated traditional values.
This Iraqi YouTuber has been killed by her father in a so-called honor killing. 22-year-old Tiba Al-Ali lived in Turkey, where she blogged about her life, but was back in Iraq when she died earlier this week. Police had apparently tried to help resolve a dispute between Tiba and her family, but the next day, her father confessed to killing her.
We know the agenda. We know racism is man-made. The first word in that word is man. The prefix is man. Man created racism. This is their way of continuing the division between women, because the men at the top, they can see that women around the world of all races, black, white, Korean, 4B movement, all women of all races are starting to realize that we are all getting taken out by men. We are all getting abused by males. So please do not fall for this, ladies. Like, it makes you mad. I know as a black woman, it makes me mad that only a certain type of woman gets showcased. Like, again, I'm not playing the victim Olympics, but if we do have any allies, I did see one woman that in the comments, or a couple of women in the comments, that pointed out that the first ones to get punched in the face in New York were black women.
YC is not safe. A random grown man just punched me in my face.
He's trying to talk to me. He was on my ass. He literally speeds up from behind me just to walk slow in front of me. And I'm tall, so I stride when I walk. So he steps on my feet from the front. And he literally turns around and says to me, "Don't step on my feet, bitch." Y'all, I'm eating a burger, walking, and I stop eating my burger like, what? Sir, you literally just walked from behind me to come in front of me to tell me don't stop. He's telling me how he beat up bitches like me, don't do it again. And I'm smiling like I'm eating my burger. I didn't think nothing serious. I'm like, why would you want to hit me? That's feminine energy. You're a boy. I'm a girl. Like, those are literally the words that I said. And then he goes and literally walks up to the guy that was like literally 10 footsteps away. And he's like, yo, bro, this your bitch? And then he says, no. And he comes back to me. He's just like, yeah, call me feminine again. And I'm like, it is kind of feminine that you want to hit me.
Demons are
really
real.
Punched me in my shit. I ran the man just.
I cannot make this.
Just came across a video of one of the victims of that man who was punching those women in New York, and she was just updating it and saying how he'd been arrested. And then I'm like going through the comments, and somebody was like, "Oh, well, yeah, like they should listen to the black woman." And when she reported a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, And then somebody like right up under there commented, and they had a whole bunch of likes, and they were like, "Oh, I mean, he's arrested now. What's the big deal?" So I go back and look at the video, and this is the video.
Democrats. He followed me and started recording me. Democrats. I pushed the camera out my face, and that's when he started hitting me. You crazy. And he hit multiple times. Yeah, okay. And everybody, I am fine.
To ask that after seeing that, like, I can't tell you how incredibly frustrating it is to be a black woman and be a victim of anything. Of anything. Because off rip, people see your skin and don't let you be disabled, don't let you be fat, don't let you be anything outside of what they can consider to be a perfect victim and someone deserving of empathy and support and attention. And because you'll just be ignored. You will be very let down. And it is very much so a salt in the wound feeling. The big deal is she was hit several times. Several people saw a whole train track full of people.
We're trying to talk to you. Calm down.
I bust her right in her motherfucking shit.
Can you tell us what happened?
I bust her right in her motherfucking shit.
You can't do that. Yeah, why did you do that?
I bust her right in her motherfucking shit.
I know. Why did you do that?
You get my business card?
We got it.
It say First Watch, right?
Why did you do that to her? Do you have an explanation?
I bust her right in her motherfucking shit.
Why are random women in New York getting punched in the street?
Men. It's because of men. Yeah, I think I covered it.
Committed by men. Men commit approximately 90% of murder. And over the past 30 years...
So men only make up 48% of the population, but 90% of the murder. Sound kind of familiar? Kind of like the 1350 argument? Well, just like with that statistic, the reasoning behind it isn't just there's something wrong with black people. The issue behind this statistic isn't just there's something wrong with men. The vast majority of feminists always bring up the societal norms that are put onto men that make them deemable as a man, such as not having emotions, supporting your family, being strong, being powerful. We scream about how that type of mindset is terrible for anyone to live in, and these stats just prove it. So to reiterate, the takeaway from these statistics is not just that there's something wrong with men, it's that there is a issue with the societal norms that we're holding men accountable to that is clearly not giving them a good outlet to process their issues in life.
And their stories did not go viral, they weren't newsworthy, and they were just crying their eyes out. They literally got punched. I don't remember if they said the race of the man on their videos, but it doesn't even matter. That's the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't matter. Women, we need to start arming ourselves and protecting each other. Because I know that some women think that a lot of women think that males are protectors. But no, the ones that are doing the most harm to you are males. They're males. They're not protecting you. Yeah, they'll come out and speak and say, we're not going to stand back and let this happen to our women or to women.
Listen, I'm in New York, right? So I'm walking around making sure all the fucking ladies that had the issue, that's like getting punched in the fucking face and shit like that. So we outside making sure all these girls, all these women, all these ladies all good. Like, this shit ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the city right now trying to advocate for all the ladies, man.
This is a clear message to all women living in New York. There is a trend going on where men are walking up to women as they're looking down at their phone. They are getting socked in the face. I need you to stay smart. I need you to stay vigilant. I need you to be aware of your surroundings. But most importantly, I want you to have the security that there are wolves like myself walking around New York City looking out for these disgusting animals. And I will do everything I can to make sure as our police continue to be...
A Toronto police officer has been charged in an alleged sexual assault case. The assault allegedly took place in May of last year, and now the officer has been charged on one count of sexual assault.
After being charged with sexually assaulting 3 children, Sharon Hill rookie police officer Tyler Humphreys found himself on the other side of the police booking photo lens.
Today on Live at 4, in court today, a Milwaukee police officer charged with sexual assault. He's the same officer at the center of a deadly shooting that led to the Sherman Park violence.
You're sexy. Is that unprofessional of me? I don't know. I'm sorry, but like, I'm just like, damn.
Body camera video shows a former police officer's inappropriate conversation with a woman he met while on patrol.
That I will be there to protect you as best as I can. And that's all I gotta say about that. Go ahead. Punch them on my watch, motherfuckers. Midnight, I am out. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
But they're not there when you're getting punched in the face. They're not there when your daughters are getting, well, you know what? They are there because they're the ones that's doing it. No matter what color they are, no matter what country you're in, they are there because they're the ones that are doing it. Which further proves my point. They're not protectors, so we as women need to start protecting each other. And I'm so glad to see a lot of women starting to tell other women, you need to arm yourselves, you need to get protection, you need to do whatever you can to, help each other as women. In 2024, that's going to be our message. That's going to be our focus. We get it. We see the division. Oh, these black men are attacking these black women. Yes, they are. But they're attacking these white women. Yes, they are. But they're also attacking other women. Oh, these white men are attacking black women. Yes, they are. But they're also attacking their women too. Like, oh, these Arab men I don't hear about too many Arab men attacking. They probably are in neighborhoods where they have like their own businesses in like poor black neighborhoods. They probably are attacking black women. But guess what? When they go home, they're abusive and they're abusing their women too. In their countries, they are really abusing their women. We see this worldwide. We see their women marching and protesting. That's why I'm saying, like, it's time out for women trying to have the back of men. I know divestors won't agree with this. I'm talking about men of any race. Any race. If we're going to come together as women and be safe in a world full of males who are harming us the most, we have to erase the division. We have to erase racism because I'm seeing women suffering everywhere. I'm seeing women divorcing at a 75% rate, and that number isn't just white women. Yeah, it's going to be more white women in there because more white women are married than black women, but that includes all women divorcing at a 75% rate. And I'm sure because most males are acting the same. They're cheating. They're putting hands on their wives. They're doing stuff to their daughters. They're looking at pornography. They're doing all kind of stuff. So although it appears that groups of men are coming out putting on their capes like, we'll protect you, that hasn't been happening. If y'all really think about it, that has not been happening for centuries. They have never protected us. It's only been about 50 years. I think we just hit the 50-year mark where women have gotten certain rights to do certain things and have freedoms to like have our own bank accounts and just buy houses and stuff like that. That's not protection. They did all of that stuff because they weren't trying to protect. They were trying to subjugate and oppress all women, even their women. That's why all groups of men, if you haven't noticed, they hate feminism. They don't know what they hate. Well, especially black men. They don't know why they hate feminism. They just hate feminism. Like, because we all know that feminism actually benefits black men more than anybody. Because black women being able to go to work and do all of that has been helping them out. Like, because black women share everything they get with black men. So it actually helps them out a lot. Well, black women have always been able to go to work. So I don't know, but feminism really isn't doing anything to hurt black men. They just want to be mad about something. They just want to be mad about something. But I said all that to say that women are getting attacked. I hate how they're trying to make it a race thing by showcasing all of these non-black women on TikTok. I get that it's their story is going viral because all of this happened in a short period of time. But the bigger picture is we need to look at the bigger picture. Women of all races are being attacked by males. And I know it's some women on my channel that may be divested or decentering men or just not dating men or lesbian. That's fine. And that's why I'm not going all into, I can't go all into the division when it comes to all of that, because we're all women. Whether you're decentering males, you're just done with black males, whether you're dating just Mexican or Italian men, whether you're a BWE, whether you're just whatever you call yourself, hypergamous, whatever you call yourself, it doesn't have anything to do with color. This is a male versus female issue. This is not a black woman versus white woman. Even though you're going to see a lot more men coming out, even some black men are trying to come out and speak about the women that are being attacked like they're protectors or whatever, because they're white women. You know, black men are going to come out and speak when it comes to the women they prefer. But this is not a laughing matter. I just want to say that I don't even want, there's any white women watching my video, which I'm sure some will come across this video, don't let males divide women, because overall there's probably hundreds and hundreds, or if not thousands of attacks in New York yearly. The crime rate in New York is high, and most of those attacks are on women of all races, all colors, of girls of all races, of all colors. We really have to be smarter, ladies. I think that women of all races are naturally smarter than men. And if we think about it, who runs the news? Mostly men. Or no, men. They run the news. So whatever narrative they want to put out there is going to be put out there. So yes, this looks like it's just black men or a random black man going around and attacking white women. That's true. But can two things not be true at once? Sorry about that. I got cut off. But like I was saying, can two things not be true at once? And something else I wanted to talk to you guys about is we've all heard about the male loneliness epidemic. Incels. We all know what incels are. They're men who are involuntarily celibate. They're not having sex, and it's not by choice. They want to, but they just don't know how to communicate with people or women. This amount of men is growing really quick, and a lot of people are taking notice and starting to talk about it. I even saw a video of a transgender man, which means that he was a woman before and turned into a man, and now he's seeing how lonely it is living the life of a man. So this is crazy.
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of how open women are than I've had in my 8 years of transitioning. Because women are just so much more vulnerable and deep than men. But to have known, and I think a lot of trans men feel this, is we knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to have people want to hug us. And to have people want to talk to us. And to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. And people are colder. What's hard is nobody told me how
The most dangerous person in the world is a man who's broken and alone. What do you mean by that?
I have been feeling and seeing this notion of how poorly young men are doing. I just can see it in my friends with their sons. I have friends who have 2 daughters and a son. I'm saying this metaphorically, but the younger daughter's working at a PR firm in Chicago, and the son is in their basement vaping and playing video games. 7 to 10 high school valedictorians are girls. For every 1 male college graduate over the next 5 years, there's going to be 2 female college graduates. 93% of mass shooters are men, 3 times more likely to overdose, 4 times more likely to commit suicide, 12 times more likely to be incarcerated. They do worse in single-parent households. For some reason, girls have the same outcomes in a dual-parent household versus a single. Our education system is biased against men. Young men just have the deck stacked against them.
Enough lonely single men in their young ages of like 20 to 30, right, with no family, no kids, nothing to die for, to stand for. You're going to have public tragedies keep happening. Soon they'll start targeting higher ups in government because, you know, once the greed sets in from those at the top and they take more and more and more and you're left with nothing, then you'll really see the, quote, revolt everybody talks about.
America, 1 in 3 males under the age of 30 has not had sex in the last 12 months.
The point that he claims to be making in this video is that we're producing too many of the most dangerous people in the world, which he says is the young, broken, alone man. And I find it interesting that he started the video by talking about how much sex they're having, because we shouldn't be measuring men's mental health or their amount of success by the frequency in which they're having intercourse. But if you really want to have that conversation, then I think you have to at least acknowledge that men are lonely for the same reasons they aren't having sex. Because that lack of emotional intelligence that prevents them from having intimate experiences is also what's prohibiting them from having healthy relationships. And it's also why we're seeing married men who aren't having sex and lonely men who are having an abundance of it. But insisting that this is somehow the fault of women is wrong, because a man's stability should never be dependent on his level of access to a woman's body. And to imply that it is takes responsibility off the person who actually needs to be doing the work. Men aren't getting angrier because they aren't having sex. They aren't having sex because they're angry. And until we stop pretending like sex is the fundamental building block of masculinity, we aren't going to see healthier men or better relationships with women.
This is the situation that we have going on worldwide. This is just not in America. And this is why we have the movements like the 4B movement in Korea. And recently we have just started coining ours, the Western 4B movement, because many women in America are also not having children and not wanting to get married or have anything to do with men because of the stuff that you see going on in the world and just in everyday, like marriages and dating life and just so forth. But, you know, ladies, I put together a list of weapons that you could possibly carry for those who don't like carrying guns. I am armed and I do need to get to the range and practice, you know, because I don't have time to practice, but I am armed and I am loaded and I do carry, but I do have a lot of these weapons. A lot of them can be found on Amazon. You can go on eBay. You can go in Walmart. You can go in Bass Pro Shops to find some of the sprays and the tasers and everything. So check out this list and I'll be right back. Again, I hope some of you guys will purchase some of these defense weapons. All of them should be able to do the job. If I were you, I would get 2 or 3 of them and just keep them on me when I'm in public. And like I said, make them easily accessible to you when you need to grab them, so you won't be fumbling around. Either have them in your pocket, have your hand on them, and be ready to go. Only when you're in public. I know this sucks, ladies, but it's like I said, it's going to get worse. It's been bad, but it's getting worse because of these channels on YouTube, and men are starting to realize that they really are the issue and that they really are not our protectors. They're causing more harm than damage. They've been knowing that. We've just been believing that they're protectors. I don't know why. We've been seeing all of this stuff forever also. But yeah, you don't want this to happen to your daughters. If you have daughters that are old enough to carry some of these, get them some too, especially if you have daughters that jog by themselves or walk the dog by themselves. You know, do anything. College campuses, a lot of girls are getting raped on these campuses, and not necessarily by the boys or the men that are on the campuses with them, by males that are not even supposed to be on the campus. These males are going to your girls' middle schools and high schools and sitting around in their cars because they're predators and waiting for your babies to come out. I know in a lot of these schools they can't have this stuff on them. I don't know how you're going to protect them. Some of us might choose to homeschool our girls, but it's going to be really hard. And some of the predators are their teachers. I've seen a lot of stories of male teachers. Like, I know women do it too, but so far it's way more male teachers that are messing with these students. And it's not even just the girl students. They're going for the boy students too. Let's not forget that a lot of them are homosexual too. So they'll go for both. You know, it's so much stuff for us to think about, and we can't just keep walking around this world all willy-nilly like la la la, like we're just in like a dreamland. Well, a lot of women are in like a dreamland in your minds, but like on the outside you're walking through literal like it's a combat zone. And it's like, just because it hasn't hit close enough to home to you doesn't mean you should just ignore it and just wait to arm yourselves with something. I think any woman that hears videos like this, please share this video, ladies. Please. This is really life or death. Like, any woman that hears these videos, y'all, you should be, if you don't have 2 weapons on you, I kind of feel like a hypocrite, because although I have all of these weapons that I just showed you, ladies, I have them like in my car, in my like survival kit and stuff like that. Like, when I go to work or when I go out on a daily basis, I'm gonna admit that I don't usually carry them with me. But after seeing this, even though I'm not in New York, I think I'm going to start carrying. I'm gonna keep ordering more also, but I am going to start carrying them on me also, because I want to practice what I preach. And I want to be able to help like somebody if I see them in this situation, or I want to be able to defend myself. Because I know a lot of these men these days are not going to help. They're going to sit back, and especially if they're men of a certain color, they're going to pull out their cameras and record. They're not going to help a woman no matter what race she is. I know they say, well, if it was my mom or my daughter or my sister, I would protect her. But I don't see that happening much either, because I see a lot of Black women who are people's moms, sisters, or daughters who are getting taken out, because most of these men who are saying that don't even live in the home with these ladies. Like, don't even live in the home with these ladies. And we just saw the story of the little boy that just got taken out by his mom's ex, trying to protect his mom, because they let the ex out of prison, I think too early. And she was, I don't know if she was pregnant or not, but he got out of prison and went to his ex and took her out, and her little boy was trying to save her.
11-year-old boy is dead after police say he was stabbed to death while trying to protect his pregnant mother. Police say the mother had an order of protection against the alleged murderer, who was out on parole for just 1 day and had multiple parole violations.
Jaden Perkins was murdered on March 13th. He was 11 years old.
No, he didn't take her out. He took her little boy out when he was trying to save her. But yeah, it's a lot for the ladies that have sons that are trying to discipline them, make them get off of their games, trying to make them clean their rooms, or just sons, period. They're coming and taking their moms out. Like, this whole not birthing them thing is not just something that needs to be said repeatedly. Like, I know Cynthia G got taken off because she was saying take them out medically, but I'm saying don't even do that. Don't even get that far. Just stop birthing for a minute, because like right now, I know a lot of y'all are pissed at Princella for talking about compassion, but the biggest thing we can do for ourselves to have compassion on other women is to stop birthing them. I know a lot of y'all don't get what she means when she says have compassion for them. I get it because I'm on her level. Mentally, I'm a Virgo, so mentally I know what she's talking about when she says have compassion for them. I really, really get it. So I know a lot of you ain't on that level. A lot of you unfollowed her, but what she's talking about, it needs to be said because it's life-saving. What she's teaching us about them is life-saving. We need to understand why what's happening is happening, and she's still teaching about that. So if you don't follow her, I want everybody to go over to her channel. Even though my channel is a small channel, whoever doesn't follow her, who's never heard of her, go over to the High Power Podcast. I'm going to continue to support her and talk about her channel until I do really see something that I don't like over there. Like, but as far as her saying have compassion for them, I get that. She's explained it over and over again why she said that, so I'm not going to explain it here. But yeah, y'all are dealing with what I believe. I don't believe these are human. I really don't. Y'all can keep thinking that if y'all want to. And I know the compassion in a lot of y'all wants to say, don't say that. They're human just like you. And yeah, history tells me otherwise. History and my spirit tells me otherwise. And the more and more women back out, the more you will see otherwise. So y'all keep playing if you want to. I know a lot of y'all want to keep thinking that they're like going to protect and provide, and some of them will. And actually I see a certain race of men who do that, but only to a certain extent. But then there's other groups of men who don't really do it at all, and we know what group of men that is. So I wouldn't stand back and wait and see if somebody is going to protect me. Like, the scariest thing is to be like a woman and be waiting for just a strange man to come and protect you, when stats show that historically they have not been so much protecting us. And like a lot of y'all women like to think that, but we're asking for protection from men, so they're the ones that are hurting us the most. I was about to say the worst. Like, the most. They're hurting us the most. And we're still begging them to protect us. So that doesn't make sense at all, y'all. I just want y'all to really think about it. And just the next time you step out of your house, just think of all the things that could happen. Of all the men that we're around every day. Like, we're around so many men. A lot of men. And a lot of them are predators. And we would never even know. As long as we're in public, we're somewhat safe. As long as we're in groups, we're somewhat safe. But you never know. I've had men come up to me at work, flirting with me and being sexual with me, saying sexual stuff, knowing that I am married. I am married, but I can't count on my husband to protect me. He's not with me. I'm away from him more than I'm with him. Yeah, he carries, but he's away from me more than he's with me. I'm not in the house with him all day long, and he's not in the house with me all day long. Like, I work, I go places. Most of the time I'm at home by myself. He doesn't sit in the house. Like, if somebody was to break in my house, would I know where the guns were? Would I know where my bear spray, my knives are? I have all of that. Yeah, I know where all of that is. Also, if you got... I was going to say, if you have boys, let them know where it's at. But like I said, boys or girls, let them know where it's at. But if you have boys, you have to know your boys. Like, if they have a bad attitude, or if they have anger issues with stuff that you're telling them, and you're a single mom, don't let them know where weapons are in the house. It's kind of hard to even just have knives, like kitchen knives, out at the house. If you're raising a teenage boy and you know he's stronger than you, and he has like a bad temper or attitude, he lies a lot, he's hanging with a group of boys that are bad, That's why, like, ladies, and on that, like, I will be trying my best to figure out a way to get them out of my house. And once they get to a point where they're doing all of this and they're stronger than you and they're not listening to you. I know that you think that they're your babies and they would never do anything to hurt you, but look up matricide rates. If you're going through issues with them right now, look up the matricide rates and see what's going on between boys and their moms. I know girls have done the same thing also. For anybody that's going to say that there's girls that are taking their moms out. And for the most part, the stories that I've seen like that, because I used to watch a lot of those true crime stories, the girls were taking their moms out over boys. They were getting violent because they were connected to boys or men, and they were taking their moms out. Any of y'all who, tell me if I'm lying, down in the comments, any of y'all that have watched like these true crime stories, or y'all know what I'm talking about, America's Most Wanted, or anything like that, the girls or the women on there that are taking out other women and girls is usually behind a boy or a man that they're attached to. So that's why I think this is spiritual. And when you sleep with a demonic person, you start acting like them. You really start acting like them. We see that with all these mammies who are still like, are still with like men that are like manospheric or red pill, even if they're not. Some of them are single. Some of them are still batting for these men because they were with them. So, y'all, I know I'm stuttering and I'm tongue twisted. It's just a lot to try to get in a short period of time. I don't want to forget anything because I know our women are like dying out here and just clueless. Like, we're still walking around like lost little kittens in a world that is on fire and burning down and getting worse by the day. Some of us will hear this and still ignore it and not go out and get like at least a taser and some pepper spray. I know everybody's not going to want a gun, but the reason I say get two things is because some men are not just going to run away if you pull out a weapon. Some men are going to attack you. Some men might even have a pew-pew and shoot you if you make them mad enough. That's why if somebody just comes up on you, the first thing to do, if you got pepper spray, if they're coming up on you viciously and you're scared, like you fear for your life, like spray them and get away. Like, some of these things will allow you to get away, but some of these men may have knives or pew-pews and may actually hurt you and take you out. That's why, like, we can't even afford to let them get too close to us. Like, as far as knives, we can't afford for them. Like in New York, I know some of those ladies said they were looking down and the men bumped into them. Don't try to be looking around where you are nowhere near a male. Like, don't let them get close to you where they can stab you or punch you in the face. I know that's going to be hard in a city like New York when walking is mostly how they get around and trains is how they get around. But I would have to say that if you can afford, like, if you live in New York, you could probably afford to move because New York is expensive. It's really expensive. You could probably start making plans to either transfer to a different state or start saving up to move to a different state that's not so crowded, where you can drive a car and not be around a city, be in a city that's so heavily populated with males. I would suggest that. Even if you're married, like I said, if you're married in New York, your husband is not with you everywhere. And most husbands are not protectors. We need to get that out of our head. They're not protectors. When you hear your man or your brother or any male that you know say, I'm not going to just protect some random woman that I don't know, I could die, that means they're not protectors. They don't protect, which means they don't even want to protect you. They just feel obligated to protect you, which means they're scared of other men. They're really scared of other men. This is why they say they're not going to just jump in and protect a woman that they don't know, because they know that men are violent and they know that other men will take them out too. So when they try to tell you, oh, you need men to protect you, they're gaslighting you, because then they turn around and say stuff like this, because I could die. That means that they know that other men are violent. They see that other men are violent, just like everybody else in the world sees that men are violent. That's why I have no idea. I have no idea how they brainwash women to thinking that we need them for protection when all we need is each other. Like, if we could just get in communities that were mostly with women, we wouldn't have to worry about predators looking at our daughters, going after our children. Women have the resources that we need to start building communities that are centered around women and girls. I know they make laws where you can't discriminate against the sex of people, but it's got to be some kind of way to get around that, just for our safety. Like, just for our safety, for our survival. It's so many things that we could try to do to survive. That's one of them. One of them is arming yourself. Another is not birthing them. I know a lot of women are thinking about not birthing kids for other reasons, but to me, this is the top reason, is that they were overpopulated with them for no reason other than women chose to give birth to them. That's the only reason. Like, we hold that power. That's the most powerful thing in the world, and they know that. That's why they're changing laws to try to make us birth them, to try to make us stay with our husbands or in relationships that are toxic. If we didn't hold the power, they wouldn't have to do all that. And which is going to get scarier for us, because the more we see these things, the more we're going to stop birthing them, and the more forceful the men at the top are going to be, because they're greedy. They need us to keep birthing people into this economy to work for them and make them rich. Mainly men, because they need men to go to war. Mainly that's the ones that they need to fight in their wars. I know women go to war too, but they mainly need the men because men are stronger, men are faster, men are, they're men. So who else can birth them besides us? They're even trying to come up with ways to birth themselves without us. They're trying to play God now and birth men without us. In, like, I don't know, cubicles, not cubicles, but pods or something. Like, should show you how important you are. They're trying to make it seem like we're second class citizens, we're beneath them. And Akon's dumb self said,
the women don't create life, they support the creation of life.
Damn, somebody just broke that down to me.
The man is who create life.
Every time I say it, they laugh at me.
Man, we're gods. We the ones that create life.
No, to women, I'm saying, this conversation.
Right.
I just said it to you the other day. Y'all
and let me give you an example of the science of it. A man right now can create life without a woman, but a woman can't create life without a man. If I wanted to create life right now without a woman, I would just shoot my sperm, put it in the incubator, and just give it 9 months, even maybe less with today's science, and a baby will be born. A woman can't do that.
Yeah, that's what he said out of his own mouth. So men are now carrying around children in their nut sacks, and women are unneeded now, and they could just squirt children into a petri dish or a pod or whatever the hell he said. Ladies, stop birthing them. We cannot let Cynthia's message go in vain. We need to carry this torch, and we need to add on to the list of reasons that we don't need to birth them. And a lot of them, once you birth their children, your body gets bad. They start blaming you for looking bad and not being in shape anymore. They get jealous of their kids. It's so many reasons not to anymore. But I'm going to cut it off right here, and hopefully YouTube will let me upload this video, because I have been banned from uploading for a week. I should have another video coming soon, but I don't know. We'll see. I will talk to you guys later. Get in the comments and like, comment, and subscribe, and share some of your weapons of choice that you carry on you. And if you have teen girls, are you also giving them weapons? And just a few more safety tips for ladies who are living by themselves, or maybe you're at home by yourself a lot. Set a large pair of muddy work boots like in the front of your door. That way, they'll think like a man lives there if you live by yourself, or if you don't have a man there with you. Purchase you a home security system like Vivint, or I think Cox has one, and it could be some other ones. Put it in by your back door, by any windows you want to keep an eye on, your front door, if you can afford it. This is just some ideas of how we can be safer. Make sure your front door has multiple types of locks. They have like poles and different things you could put on your doorknob, and just a lot of stuff that you could do to your doors to make them more secure at night when you're asleep or when you're at home. Never leave your doors unlocked in the daytime, because people can just walk up in your house. People have been known to like kick doors down. Like I said before, have multiple weapons throughout your home, including next to your bed. I think I got a taser next to my bed, and I have like a big tactical knife next to my bed. And then my husband has like 2 guns on his side of the bed. He sleeps hard, so I don't know. Like if somebody broke in his house, we would be out of luck. I also have multiple weapons in your car. I have a couple of different weapons in the front seat, in the midsection of your car, because you never know if somebody makes you get in the back seat and tries to kidnap you or rob you, and you have something in the back seat. Even if they throw you in your trunk, have something back there that you can grab. 2, 4, 5, 6 weapons in your car that you can always grab where they can't see them, but you know where they are. Purchase a self-defense dog for outside around your perimeter. So if anybody comes in your backyard, that dog will attack them or bark. A small dog for the inside, or some of you might have big dogs on the inside for self-defense. Dogs are good, security measurements. Place a beware of dog sign on your gates. Even if you don't have a dog, just place it there anyway. Place a sign that says you have guns. Even if you don't have guns, place it there anyway. If you have kids and you're single, tell them to never, I'm not single, and I tell my kids to never go to the door or answer it when anybody rings it. I don't care if I'm in the shower. I don't care if I'm at work. Never go to the door. If your kids are old enough to have like a cell phone, connect all of your cell phones to your cameras and tell them to always look at the camera and see who it is instead of running to the door, because people are snatching kids. They're trafficking. So even if it's family, if anybody comes over unannounced, you should not open the door. Think of having like a secret knock that only you and your kids know, a secret password. Like when they call you, like if they're your kids, if they're in danger, have them like to say a secret password in a text message, or when they call you, if somebody is like trying to take them and they're trying to let you know without being too obvious, they can have like a password that they use on their phone or text messages. Place a tracker on your kids. If you have kids that are like going outside and you're single, I don't know, they have different types of trackers. I know the Apple AirTags you can put on your kids somewhere in their pocket or in their sock when they're out playing, and make sure they know to leave it there just in case they get kidnapped. You can track them and help the police track them on your phone. Also, their phones have trackers on them. There's programs you can put on their phones, but it's just better safe than sorry. You could probably do like both of them. And have a spare car key in a magnetic. They have these magnetic boxes on Amazon. You could put an extra key in there just in case you have to get out of the house and run away real quick. I know y'all all saw that movie like Enough with Jennifer Lopez. She had all these booby traps and different ways of escaping. If you're a single lady, just think about stuff like that, like when you're alone. Think about that movie and just try to come up with different ways you can make your house more secure. Most people that break in houses, they cut like screens on windows. If you have like the safety alarm, the home security, you can put those on your windows too. I don't know if they'll go off if they break a window, but I know they go off if the window is open. So just think about a lot of this stuff, ladies. And that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And share, ladies. If you want to get this Western 4B movement on the roll, I'm seeing it all on TikTok, all on Instagram, all on YouTube. Just type in Western 4B movement and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Ladies are not playing. This is just, I think, what's today? April the 3rd, 2024. So y'all, let's see what it's going to be looking like by the summertime. And I will talk to you ladies next time. Bye.